Let's talk some boxing. So I found out today that Dillian Whyte is injured. Injured his shoulder. Now, immediately, me and other people that really follow boxing in the heavyweight division know that Dillian Whyte has been wanting a title shot for a long time. And I think he started to realize, Tyson Fury and me are supposed to fight. Is it a wise choice to fight a southpaw like Wallin, who's dangerous right now? Say I lose, then that title shot is history and I have to wait again. Oh, my shoulder's hurt. Fight canceled. I don't know. The timing looks kind of suspect because the fight was supposed to be on the 30th of this month, and Eddie Hearn said the fight's still gonna, they'll replace Dillian, but looks kind of like a political move, as Lennox Lewis used to say. Looks like some politics involved. I don't know. If I see Dillian back in the gym after the 30th swinging haymakers, I'd be like, okay, yeah, we got. Well, I didn't get got because I kind of know what's going on, or feel I know what's going on. But a lot going on. I see Floyd Mayweather was taking shots at Deontay for getting rid of Mark Breland, doing it online. I haven't watched the video yet, but Counterpunch Boxing News said the headline was saying Wilder calls Mayweather overrated big mouth, and it's getting pretty ugly. Floyd could come back with so many things, be like, yeah, I may be overrated, might be a big mouth, but I didn't get knocked out and I was undefeated. Yeah. So, but hey, I owe Malik Scott a huge apology. This dude seems like, he's got a lot of class when it comes to boxing. And he just unarmed all the Wilder fanboys, the ones talking about Tyson Fury got a slow count. He said no. He said Deontay's equilibrium was off. So while he was counting, the ref was counting for Tyson Fury, Deontay wasn't back in his corner. So he stopped the count to go make sure Deontay was squared away. And Malik Scott said that's in the rule book. He can stop the count to, go set the other fighter straight. So for those people like Daniel Cormier talking about it was a long count, and I think even Joe Rogan said something about it, but Daniel Cormier, no, it wasn't a long count. No, the referee had to get Deontay back to his corner. It's in the rule book. Look it up. And if you don't like it, you can see me in the ring, and we'll see another YouTuber beat up a former UFC fighter. That being me. You don't want to see me, Daniel. Trust me. Now, I like Daniel Cormier. He's a cool dude. He just, guess he doesn't know boxing like, UFC, which is understandable. But, yeah, so he's just, I like how Malik told the guy at the beginning of the interview, he told him, hey, I know when you do interviews, you normally have a format, which questions you're going to ask in a certain order. He's like, hey, feel free to ask me anything. So the guy was just real honest. Some of the Wilder fanboys, I think, are already trying to talk about that Deontay fired Malik Scott. I don't believe that. He doesn't want to go down that route again. If he fires Malik Scott after he fired Mark Breland, I don't know any credible trainer that'll even work with him. They'll be like, no, not touching that dude, because if he loses, I'm going to be to blame and I'm going to be out on the street. So, but I owe Malik an apology because I was saying before, Tyson Fury had a good point when he said, how's he going to train Wilder to beat me when he couldn't even beat me? And I started thinking, I was like, well, maybe Malik just couldn't execute his own plan, but he can tell somebody else to do it. It's like maybe if somebody tells you to do 50 push-ups, it's a good thing to do 50 push-ups. Maybe they can't do it, but they know how to tell you to do it. So he looks like he's going to be a good trainer. if not with Wilder, somebody, because he enjoys studying film. You know, that's how he relaxes. He said he just sits back and he does film study. He loves to analyze fights and break them down. Just seems like, you know, he's classy. He talks about, you know, his first fight, you know, training is with Wilder and Sugar Hill. So, you know, the guy interviewing him was saying, hey, you know, most new trainers have their fighter come in with the journeyman, you know, so they can build up a little momentum and build a name for themselves as a team. But his first fight training was against Sugar Hill and Tyson Fury. And we know Tyson Fury is going to go down as one of the greats of all time in the heavyweight division. And he's no dosser. And Sugar Hill's no dosser either. So, yeah. I owe him a big apology for thinking he was a yes man. And, you know, we say a lot of boxing shows we're talking about that he's a yes man, and I kind of either said it or alluded to it, but maybe that's a little bit of that is what he had to do to build Deontay's confidence back up. You know, when he's holding the pads, maybe exaggerated, make him think he's hitting harder than what he is, just to get his confidence up, you know. So, you know, it's a thin line, but he seems like he's a real quality trainer. He knows the sport. He's not making any excuses. No excuses. He's unarming the Deontay Wilder fanboys and all that LDBC garbage. He's unarming all that. So all these fanboys out there that want to keep talking about glove gate and count gate, it looks like Malik just locked the gate. Let it go. And now, of course, I get a lot of my news from Counterpunch Boxing News, Kurt, and he says that Shelly Finkel's talking about they want a fourth fight with Fury. Really? You trying to get this dude permanently hurt? A fourth fight? They're saying, yeah, you know, he's a big-time fighter and there's really no one else out there to fight with a big name. And, you know, that's great and all, but if your guy can't beat him, he can't beat him. And, oh, yeah, I wanted to point this out. Malik Scott said what I said, it looks like something is wrong with Wilder's legs. And I noticed it early in the fight. Even when he threw a punch, his legs didn't look like they were there, like he was complaining in the second fight. And he said the first thing he works on is a fighter's balance. And Emmanuel Stewart would always point out balance. So I started thinking, if he knew that and he went into training camp and he worked on balance with Deontay Wilder, then something truly is wrong with Deontay Wilder's legs. Now, he mentioned his equilibrium being off because he got hit in the ear or something, but I noticed it was off before he got hit in the ear. So if he trained him for balance and his balance was still off during the fight, something's going on with his legs. I don't know if it's his ankles, his knees, his Achilles, or just what, but he's got to do some leg strengthening exercises, you know. Not just upper body, but don't skip leg day. And if you guys haven't seen it, I think it was something called Boxing King Media. You can check out Malik Scott's interview. It's about 40-some minutes. Great interview. He talks about how many years he'd been fighting. He sparred with Lennox Lewis. I think he said on another show that Lewis was the best fighter he ever sparred with. So, got to respect him on that, because Lennox Lewis is my favorite fighter of all time, of course. Don't hesitate to say that. No guy test. Same. And, yeah. And message to Dillian Whyte, man. If you're not injured, I mean, just be like, man, I ain't gonna, why make it up? Just be like, nah, I'm not gonna fight this and risk no funny business. I'm gonna hold out for that fight with Fury. Just be honest about it. No politics. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the J. Roos Theory. Make sure you go subscribe to my alternate channel and WJ, the world's most dangerous boxing channel, platform. And thanks for watching. Yay, yay.